to be.
I don't think I would have made it. I honestly don't. I mean, I was 69 pounds, almost hooked up to a feeding tube.
I probably had 30 days left until I was dead.
My thought was, I'm going to die and I'm not going to have a chance to tell everybody that I love them one last time.
That's just more pills and more pills and more pills and more sickness and more disease.
I look at people now on the street and I see them not doing well, and I just wonder.
Went live a little early, guys.
The food that they're eating is doing.
Finish it up on Kiltsy stream and let you see the trailer here.
That somehow we're
So I'll just sit and be quiet and have my coffee.
Where every doctor is not managing disease, but trying to get to the root cause of why people are sick in the first place.
That's what being a doctor's all about, isn't it? Being able to take somebody who's got no hope and give them hope. And it's a real hope. It's a true hope. It's not a false hope. I'm not interested in any other profession.
There you go, right in my face. Perfect.
I just remember being so excited about being alive again.
Changing my diet, like, absolutely saved my life.
Plain and simple, I would not be here today.
I have my life back.
It was like with a new lens, you know, new eyes, was using them for the first time.
Even though I'm 5.5 years in, I still wake up feeling impressed.
I felt the best I ever felt in my life.
I never thought I'd have a life. I really thought my life was over. And if I hadn't have found this lifestyle, that I would not be sitting here with you today. No way.
I'm 82 years old, which is just a chronological number.
Pull yourself up, you swing your leg over and you're over.
It's not healthcare, it's sick care. We don't need doctors if we're eating properly. We don't need medication.
Ah, got quiet. Okay, everybody cheer. Yes, cheer for the movie. There aren't many of us here. There's 24 of us, but we're here, and we left the rest of them in Kiltsy's house. So we're going to let this end out, and then I will take over.
There we go.
There we are.
Yes.
We need to send this trailer to Dorothy Fink to share with Kennedy and Emmett Oz and others in the and Trump, to show them what we're about.
Yeah.
Kennedy's a carnivore.
Yeah.
And so I think this with our follow-up with her, this is very, very, very important, because she was very open. The traditional people are going to HHS and saying, hey, we want Medicare and Medicaid to pay for everything. There's no conversation from standard medicine at all about that they may be part of the problem. And I think that this story is to say, hey, enough is enough, and we've got to put it out there.
Well, I'd like to start saying hi to everybody, but there aren't many people here yet, so
and
we will wait and see
for all of us.
For Kelsey and Tribe to finish over there.
I don't know if I want to tell anyone I'm carnivore. Tell them.
Yeah.
Go to your doctor. Be you. Be the example.
If any of you think I need to just break away now,
it's funny you say that, Dr. Kiltz, because I've had quite
let me know. Let me know. If you want to continue to watch Kelsey, you can, or do you want to get started over here?
And a lot of people were saying,
let me know in the chat.
You guys send this to RFK. We have shared, but that's another way, because a lot of people are also asking, how can we help? Share it.
Laurie says breakaway. Okay, that's one vote for breakaway.
The more people that send that, the more it's going to get on their radar for sure.
So it's okay for us to share the trailer?
Oh, please.
Rick says I've got to listen to Mitch, then the movie marketing. Okay, that's 2 votes.
Just caught the end of it. If you want to share it with a friend, that's really one of the best ways.
Michael says breakaway.
Share it. Everyone.
Okay,
loves Bill.
it
Bill's
appears.
in the
Let's
chat.
see if
Bill
they're
was in the
ending up
early
now.
Trailer. He was in a little bit of the second trailer.
See if they're
I just
ending.
think
Give him
there's
another minute.
more Bill Nuts in the world that are suffering right now, and they don't know this is. They're oblivious to this as proper human diet. They have no idea.
Kelsey's got 181 people watching over there, though.
Friends and family.
I've got 47 here. It's growing. It's growing. Breakaway, says Michael Pregler.
Infinite sharing and helping people because they're
Well, Smoothie, yeah, this is not normally going to be a problem because this is not the usual kilt show. I'm not.
process.
Yeah, Ollie is not involved. Yesterday they just scattled. So today is an anomaly. I'm not worried about it. Not worried at all. But I think all we're going to hear left in this is the
because once you get it funded,
it's a continued pitch for donating to the movie, which I think is a good cause. But all right, guys, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's say goodbye to Kelsey.
All right.
All right.
He's gonna go to the hospital.
He's saying goodbye. Yes, he has to go to work. Perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kiltz. You've been
Perfect.
the biggest supporter.
Let him wrap it up. We'll let him wrap it up.
And thank you for having us on.
Well, Carrie, Adam, God bless you. Thank you. We're all a family. That's the beauty of the keto carnivore world, whether you're vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, pescatarian, or full-on carnivarian. It doesn't matter.
Carnivarian.
Everyone to listen and learn. You know, it sounds crazy, but maybe.
Yes, thank you so much to you,
Okay.
Dr. Kiltz. Thanks, Gary, and thank you to all those that have donated and spent time with us here this morning. You know, we absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you.
And we appreciate you guys too.
That's what we're here to do.
Okay.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, Gary.
Take care.
See you later. There we go. They ended it. Okay. Well, that wasn't too bad. That wasn't too bad. Only 4 minutes. So, put in context, the 4 minutes, if that should be the biggest changeover we ever have, that's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Okay, my friends, good morning. Good morning to you. Now, I don't think Kilt is going to have a special like this very often, and they only went 4 minutes because Kilt's had to get to work, like so many of you. Good to see you. Good to see you this morning. Here I am again at 7 a.m. and look at all the people finally finding their way over here. That's great. That's great. I'll say hi to you in a second. But first, where's the cheering crowd go? There they are. Yes. Good morning and welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch here on Thursday, August the 28th, my 6-month stroke anniversary. Who the hell celebrates that? Me. Drink it if you got it. Itchy nose this morning, yes. Oh, God. Okay, here we are. And I just noticed that Ketone Seeker, thank you very much, gifted 5 private community memberships. And let's see who got them. Dixie Scott. Dixie. How about that? And Manny Beddoes. Oh my God. I'm glad to see people we know get these things. Good morning, and isn't that nice? And let's see who else got it. Scotty got a gift membership. Cordelia. Wow, and Shelly Chandler. That's terrific. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Ketone Seeker, thank you so much for that. Yes, we are all ketone seekers. Dr. Nelson in the house. How you doing, Nelson? I don't celebrate it, but I do remember the exact day. I am not looking to relive it. Yeah, all right. Let's get rid of the music. That's enough music this morning. And Nelson, how the hell are you? Good to see you this morning. You know, yesterday I didn't get to really interact with the chat very much, and after the thing was over, in watching the replay, I noticed that Kelsey was in there, and I didn't pick it up during the live stream. So, Kelsey, how did I miss you yesterday? And I'm flattered that you were in here and chatting with us Mitch Fitz. With Mitch Fitz, I know you were up in Washington. From the sounds of it this morning, it went pretty much as I expected, trying to get a point across to any government official about anything that doesn't go along with their dictated government lines and policies. So, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is still the great white hope. But don't hold your breath. We got to do it, though. We got to keep beating them. Got to keep lobbing those spears at them till they wake up and pay attention and get the message. Oh, well, how about 100 people here? Good, good, good. Laurie says, drink it if you got it, Mitch. Yeah, took me a few minutes to get to that, but I did. Ricky Lee asked, Mitch, have you had picanha? Yeah, I have. In fact, every time we go to the Brazilian steakhouse, picanha is a real mainstay of theirs, and it's delicious. And the nice thing about picanha is it's got if you want to eat a lot of fat, you can eat a lot of fat because it's got this big fat cap on it, and delicious, delicious cut of meat. Good morning, Jerry Voitush. How you doing? Sandy Blythe is here. Baxty Tuka is here. How are you? Gary is still in bed. Hi, Gary. How you doing? I don't blame you. Peter's here. How you, Peter? Mudbone, Larry is here. Lori. Everybody saying hi to everybody else. Fernando Pasos. Good morning, Mitch. John Beatty, Art, Michael Pregler. Maybe this is a better way of saying good morning to people. Then going back to the beginning, wasn't a whole lot of pre-chat this morning. Everybody was over there watching Kelsey and Curry and Adam. Michael Pregler's here. How you doing? How you doing, Michael? Aaron, good to see you. The Seeley boys, Michael Seeley Sr. and Jr. are both here. Dixie, you got a membership today. Hey, how about that? On the birthdays, I miss Sandy's. I knew somebody else had a birthday yesterday besides Michael, and it was Sandy. And again, yesterday was a very confusing day for me with the first day doing early and trying to get set up for the changeover from kilts and all that other stuff. And we got through it. But I missed a lot of the chat, and in the replay, I did read the chat, and I saw so many of you wishing Sandy a happy birthday and 69th. I knew I saw somebody had a 69th birthday, and it was Sandy. So happy birthday to you, Sandy and Michael, 67. From my perch and standpoint, revel in the fact that I think you're both still children. Okay. And if nobody believes you when you say, I'm still a child, tell them Mitch said so. And that, of course, carries, you know how much weight that carries in this world. Bupkis. That means nothing. Jerry Hall is here. How you doing, Peter? Yes, you're right. Main runner really gets Mitch crazy. When people start with that topic, was that religion? Not today. We are not going there. Not going there. I'm not going there. I'm not going to tell you why that gets under my skin so much. Not going to do that. We're not going to talk about politics. Closest we're going to get to politics today is Kelsey's trip to Washington. We all know how many minds probably got changed. But you got to... It's all just chipping away at it. Everything is so ingrained in people's own version of reality that to get them to move off of the conventional wisdom takes nuclear explosions in most cases. And even then, it's like a big container ship all the propaganda, all the misconceptions, all the different stories, versions of reality that aren't reality, somebody's perception of reality. Once they catch hold, then they have caught hold in our society. And it isn't just diet. But diet is the example of it that we can understand. And we wonder why, after we've learned everything we've learned and we have all the evidence that we have and we see how well people are doing getting away from the poison in the plants, getting away from this oxidative stuff in the seed oils, getting away from the sugars and these things, and not seeing that container ship even turn 1 degree in either direction to change course, just goes to show you the power of perceived reality. And the propaganda is accelerating. Not only are they not willing to acknowledge that meat might be better for you, they are devising new attack plans. Alpha gal. You're allergic to meat. You're not supposed to eat meat. They have the money, they have the influence, they have the conduit for the narrative to feed it into 99.9% of the human beings' lifestyle, and culture. And anytime they're threatened even the slightest little bit, they will do a number of things. They're going to come up with propaganda, scare tactics, and just so that they can make a little money while they're at it, they will come up with a plethora of new drugs, injections, vaccines, and further do to us what they did in 2020. And we just simply, yes, sir. You're right, sir. Stick it right here, jab it right here. Protect me from this big bad new plague or pandemic. And we fall for it because we're conditioned that way. Not only do we have to wake up to the fact that we're eating the wrong foods, we have to wake up to the fact that we're eating the wrong information as it comes out every day, fed to us in a steady stream of propaganda along every conduit and pipeline into our brain by social media, television, morning news. You can tell. I get so... Sometimes I feel like Homer Simpson when he said, "Is everybody in the world stupid but me?" Sometimes I wake up, and I know that's not true, but I wake up in the morning and I say, am I the only one that sees an obvious pattern in virtually everything from politics to religion to diet to whatever? You name it. You name it. They are funneling propaganda to us in the interest of whoever they are on that particular app, making money. It's the way of the world. If it was helping us, that would be okay, but it's not helping us. It's taking advantage of us for their own profit. And I wake up and I say, why do I even want to be part of this fight? It's an unwinnable fight, even on the small level that I'm. Why don't I just quit all this crap? Figure out a much easier way to make a lot more money and just watch it go by until the day I die and take care of myself. Why am I fighting? I'll never change the world. Where did this desire come from to expose all this stuff? I don't know. I've had it all my life. All it's ever done is get me in trouble. And I think sometimes it gets me in trouble here. Well, I know for a fact that it gets me in trouble here, but I can't not. Honest to God, my friends, I can't not point it out every time I see it, to try to help people recognize the patterns of what they're doing to us. It's the same political ploys, the same playbooks, the same propaganda from the drug and food companies. And they've got us. We are addicts. Even though they try to convince us there's no such thing, we're not addicts. The evidence is there. We got to open our eyes, and we've opened our eyes. But we're 109 people here. What difference are we going to make? About the only difference we can make is in our own lives. We certainly can't convince our friends and relatives to that we may be on to something. They all think we're crazy too. Terry P. talking about Canada. Thanks, Peter, but yes, I have plenty of time. But okay, everybody's having their own conversations here, and I'm not privy to them, so I won't try to. Rick, you're probably one of the few people that is not addicted to food because you've just never eaten all that much sugar. Shouldn't be addicted. Most animals aren't addicted to sugar or foods that they shouldn't normally eat, but you, my friend, are certainly an addict. You're addicted to old telephones and stuff like that. And that is an addiction just as much. Addictions don't have to be centered around substances. They can be centered around any activity that gives you a dopamine rush, like gambling. Certainly a well-documented addiction. So, Rick, you're a telephone addict. Maybe one of the world's only, but nobody ever said you weren't unique, my friend. And this one's for you. There you go. All right, let's see. Anybody want to talk to me? I'm going to throw my Buy Me a Coffee link up there in the chat because I can, and see if anybody loves me today. Some people did buy me some coffees yesterday, and I didn't notice it during the stream. I don't know if it embarrasses people when I thank them in front of everybody. So I think I do thank everybody privately. I always, at least, I don't think I've missed too many. I always reply to it and say thank you very much. And sometimes there's a question involved, and I try to answer it. And so I think for right now, I'm going to keep their Buy Me a Coffee things private. I'm not fishing for it. I'm not going to, if I see them, I'll just thank you all individually and collectively the next day. Thank everybody that bought me coffees yesterday. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Lori Weitzel says, I love you every day, Mitch. Here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 18 coffees. Look at that. Unfortunately, those emojis don't equate to money, but the thought is fabulous. Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thanks for the effort to get up early. Wow. I do love you guys. I do love you guys. Sometimes, as fed up as I get just dealing with the general people and the few people that happen to wander in who just want to tell me where I'm wrong all the time. And you know how that gets under my skin. And I wish I had tougher skin. Unfortunately, the older I get, the thinner my skin gets in all respects. See this? I don't know if you can see it. Where is it here? It's, oh God. I can never turn my arm around. Right? I got a bruise there. See it? See that bruise right there? I had a huge bruise on my arm. Because I'm taking the baby aspirin every day, it's thin my blood a little bit. My skin has got so thin, and I bang into things with my forearms all day long. because my balance isn't the greatest. I try not to bang anything. I'm always bruising my forearms. And just when it takes about a week for those things to really clear up and where you can't tell. I got another one back here, right here. That's lightening up there. You can just about see that one. That's a bruise that was dark red last week. Just as soon as some of them go away and I look at my forearms and I say, hey, Mitch, look at your forearms. You get nice and grab, bang. I slam my arm into it, trying to walk quickly, but I'm still bobbing and weaving through a door frame and bang, right into the door frame. My arm goes and I said, oh no. And the next day, black and blue again. Maybe one day I'll get over this. Yesterday I had that great walk, and it was great having your company along with me. It wasn't a real long walk. Only lasted a little over 10 minutes. It was an accomplishment for me. And it was wonderful. I hadn't done it so long to get out there before it got hot. I didn't put two and two together to realize that doing the live stream later kept me from doing that stuff, but I need to be doing that stuff. And you're going to be seeing, not every day, but you're going to be seeing a lot more of it. And a lot of times, if any subject I might want to talk about on a video is better done with me walking around. I think and talk and walk at the same time pretty good, pretty well. I watch what I video, and I'm as astounded as anybody else about what comes out. It actually makes sense sometimes. Have I missed anybody in the chat that is Kiltsy here today? I said hi to Nelson. Did I miss any? Maureen Atsali, how are you? Donna Ray Main Runner. I'm not a food addict either, at least not to the extent of a lot of people. That's you're lucky. You're lucky. I've always said, and I've said a long time, that I don't think it's food addiction. I think it's sugar, carbohydrate addiction. Because ribeyes are food too. Broccoli is food too. Brussels sprouts. You don't see too many people addicted to non-sugar foods. You certainly don't see people addicted to fat, as evidenced by most human beings trim the fat off because of brainwash, number one, and because a lot of us just have to get over that. Most people, the thought of eating raw white fat is a gag thing, and you have to kind of ease into it. I think I said hi to most everybody. Terry P, how you doing? Good to see you. Lizzie, I think I said hi to you. Anthony, Gary, Dixie Scott says, please, sir, may I have another? If it was up to me, you could have all you want. All you want. I don't think I missed too many people. Terry Gaze, new in the screwworm. Now the screwworm. Yeah, this is cool. And again, it's always a new scare, requiring always a new concern, restriction, quarantine, drug, something we have to comply with that will come down from the government. Hopefully now we have saner heads in those departments in government, but so maybe we won't get a repeat of the 2000 debacle, but the old fallback adage, well, better safe than sorry. How many travesties have been perpetrated with that as an excuse? Better safe than sorry. We heard of a case where somebody in Africa, their right hand just went out of control and they strangled themselves to death. And we can't let that get away get it away from us. So we are now going to have to amputate everybody's right hand in the world so that that doesn't happen, because better safe than sorry. Be careful, people. We've given up so much of our freedom in the name of better safe than sorry that today we can't email, talk on the phone without somebody somewhere in our government or some artificial intelligence or machine monitoring every movement of ours, every place we go, every place our car goes, every word out of our mouth, every click on our keyboard, every product we buy, every website we visit. And that monitoring is done even if they aren't accessing the microphones and cameras in all the gizmos we have around our house, in our Amazon Echoes, in our Google things, even if they're not looking at the cameras, they still have the technology to turn on the microphones and listen whenever they want. If you ever shouted at your Amazon Echo to wake it up, you must realize that microphone is always on. If it ever sprung into action because something happened on your TV, you have to wonder, are they going to mistake something that's said on my TV for words that just came out of my mouth? Maybe I'm watching a movie about them plotting to bomb something, and some computer somewhere at NSA is going to hear it through my microphone on my Amazon gizmo talking about plotting to bomb something, and my next thing I know, I get swatted. I have 20 SWAT team members come to my house to arrest me for conspiracy because I was watching a movie. You don't think that could happen? That's what we've given up in this country. We've given it up because better safe than sorry. And that's a fact of life. That's a fact of life. But a lot of us are happy to give it up just for the conveniences that we enjoy. Having satellite maps to give us driving directions from here to there. Begin to just ask stupid questions to our Amazon device. You know, I do it. I don't worry about it. I say, you know, what have I got to hide? I come here on YouTube every day and tell you guys everything anyway, so I don't worry about it. I like the conveniences. But I digress. And I digress because I'm trying to pick up a topic for a thread this morning. We are halfway through at 7:30. That's great. Great. Let me get back to the bottom of the chat and see what everybody's talking about. I haven't seen any questions yet. Let me take a quick look through the other chat here and see if I see any QQQs pop out. Give me a second. I can't be more than a half hour behind because we're only a half an hour into this. I do like this morning thing. God, if you can't tell, I am wide awake. I am wide awake. I haven't had my leucine coffee yet. I have my just regular coffee here, and I think after when I watch the replay is when I'll sit down and have the caffeine and leucine. I haven't eaten any food yet. That's the key. But the key is you want to be well hydrated when you do that. So that may work out too. Plus, I get to really actually enjoy my first cup of coffee by doing it this way. This afternoon, I am meeting my son at Sonny's Barbecue for lunch. Looking forward to that. And let you know how that went tomorrow. I was looking for QQQs. Any subject that you want to talk about, please bring it up. I try to catch these things. CB Carmack is here. Hiya, CB. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. I do, in case you guys haven't gotten the message from me yet, the most important thing to me is this sense of a community that we have. I come here every day. Mr. JRC says to me, Mitch, fly any drones lately? No, I haven't. I haven't, for a couple of reasons. The environment for flying drones has become so hostile, so regulated, that I have no desire to worry about any ramifications if I should maybe. Somebody might think out there that I did something that may have offended them. And that's society in general. I tend to basically just retreat from anything that adds stress and tension to the pleasure. And speaking of drones, I'll show you a little something here in a minute. But I was saying that, what was I saying? I was talking about our sense of community. Our sense of community is the thing that keeps me involved in this. Every one of you would certainly have a great life with or without me. I don't overestimate my own importance in anybody else's life. I have enough trouble taking care of my own life. But the sense of community and belonging is a deep-seated and basic human need, and necessary in most cases throughout our history for survival. Being part of not a huge group, but a smaller, what we would call tribe. And that's an apt word for what I feel when I'm with you guys in the morning here, even though I'm not in the same room with you. And when I see the interaction in the chat, I see everybody enjoying that sense of community, and that warms my heart. Kathy, Florida, thanks. Question: seems like Sonny's barbecue would be dry without the sweet barbecue sauce. What do you add to the meat at the table? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. My son and I order brisket. Fatty brisket. You can, and they bring it, and they know, they got used to us. The fatty, juicy part of the brisket. The part of the brisket that most people don't want. They don't want it. They want the big, thick, lean part. And that's why they need all the sauce. This part of the brisket, they're happy to give it to us. We buy a pound, they give us 1.5 pounds just to get rid of it. The fatty part. It's fabulous, the fat. God, the taste is there. It's juicy. It needs nothing. It's got a small amount of rub on it, so it's not really straying too far. And I love it. And then we get smoked chicken wings. Not fried, not deep fried, but smoked. And these wings maybe some things about them that aren't great, but they're juicy. They got the skin on them. They're big, and the flavor is great. They fall off the bone. So we get a bunch of wings and a bunch of brisket, and that's it. No sides, no bread, no nothing, no veggies, and we drink water. We joke about it. We say they know what we want, or all the waitresses know us, and it's like the usual, yeah, fatty, yeah. And it works great. It's a great place to go if you want to go out. You do have to, reconcile the fact that you are going to get a little bit of seasoning, but you know how I feel about that. as long as something to me doesn't trigger addictions and send me down a wrong, dangerous path, I can handle a little bit of anything. Brendan McIntyre says, would you stop eating meat for $1 million? Well, how long do I have to stop eating meat? I would consider maybe a month. No, I'm joking. Yaki, you can't equate it. No, I wouldn't. What good is that $1 million going to do me if I'm getting sicker and sicker and dying because I'm not eating what I know to be the healthiest thing to eat? Rick is talking about kilts. Yeah, kilts made you a star, Rick. I talk about you a lot, but kilts really gives you a lot of play. That's great. You impressed him. And what impressed him about you is not the ducks or the phones. It's the fact that you have been a real carnivore before there was such a thing, according to us. I mean, there has always been a carnivore, and we as humans have been carnivores for millions of years. But the labels are very, very important in this world. At any rate, I had a question about drones, and I just thought, I don't know, I'm not going to do this too much to you, but we talked about drones, and drones are a big part of my history. And what I wanted to do, let me see if I can get this going here. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. Now, drones are a big part of my history. And I came across, I was cleaning my hard drives up the other day, trying to get rid of files that and I came upon this thing, and I thought, well, maybe you guys would like to see what the hoorah is about and what my life was like before I became a carnivore YouTuber. So what I've got here is that's the view from a camera on a drone called a first-person view drone. I am wearing goggles on my head, and I have the controls in my hand, and I'm seeing in high definition the entire world through what appears to be the cockpit of an airplane, and I go flying, and I used to go every morning and drive to this is what I used to do. I used to drive to this beautiful park early in the morning. I would get the morning sun because of it. I was pretty much keto at the time. By myself, find a spot in the park somewhere, park my car, and just treat myself to a couple of flights and appreciate the beauty and the soaring. And this is what got recorded. This is what got recorded, and I'm going to play this for you. And this is what I would see as I was flying my drone around the park. I just thought you'd like to see about a minute of this and see imagine what it's like, because for all intents and purposes, I felt like I was actually inside this thing and flying around. And I could go high. I could fly around at ground level. I could do loops and flip over and dives. And it was one of the most incredible experiences. And I had the freedom. There, you can see the shadow of the little drone on the ground. I had the freedom. And this is freedom. And they've taken it away. If I went out to that same park this morning, the likelihood is that some law enforcement official would stop me minding my own business, not a soul within miles, and asked me, do you have a permit to fly here? Do you have a license? Are you Part 107 rated? We've enacted a new policy. We won't allow drone flying anymore in our park. It doesn't conform to the new FAA regulation. All that's happened in the past few years. The government and their crap has taken this kind of experience away from me for no reason other than Amazon wants me out of the way so that they can deliver tube socks to you with a drone someday. That's it. That's it. So I thought you might like to see that. I have got thousands of hours of footage like this on this channel. On this channel, when it used to be Old Guy in a Drone. But the government regulated me out of that. The government is about to regulate us out of being carnivores or ketos by continually figuring out propaganda to throw at us and decide humans shouldn't do this because it doesn't make enough money for the food and the drug companies. So at any rate, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a little bit of off-topic stuff, but certainly not off-topic for me and my life, and maybe you get to understand now when I talk about what I used to benefit from every morning. And I did that almost every morning, going out into the fresh air, into the morning sun, doing something that was so relaxing to me and almost meditative as I was flying, and have the technology to be able to do that without any risk, to be able to fly low and fly under things without the risk of crashing and killing myself was absolutely incredible. And has anybody said anything? Did anybody comment about that? I don't see. I see Lizzie said, so awesome, Mitch. Okay. Anthony said, neat. All right. So I may have impressed one or two of you with that, but you never know. You never know. But the things I've done in my life have always been so obscure, like flying drones and things, that the average person doesn't get it. Doesn't get it. And I'm used to that. I'm used to that. It's a question. What was this one? So I got that one. Hey, all right. Oh, here's something. Brenda McIntyre says, would you stop eating meat for me? Got that one too. Okay. I'm catching these things out of the corner of my eye in real time. I'm glad to see people are okay with this new time. Brian Dish says, Mitch, it is because of all the bad apples that were flying drones causing issues, just like everyone else bad. Well, yeah, there were a few bad apples, but there's never been bad issues. There have been people accused of spying on their wife in their swimming pool, which is not true, because people always. There have been no injuries or deaths or any real problem. There are no drones taking down airliners. That's propaganda. There's a bunch of hobbyists, mostly hobbyists, guys who've been flying model airplanes for, since the beginning, since I was a kid, not hurting anybody. Radio control airplanes. They're what started all of this. It had nothing to do with the things that they want you to think it has to do with. Because that's the propaganda, Brian. They come out and tell you that the reason we're doing this is to protect you from these hazardous, dangerous things. No. The reason they're doing this is because a cabal of very rich and powerful companies in the freight and transportation business got together and planned a network of delivery vehicles built around aviation. Add to that the huge industry that's cropping up to develop so-called flying cars, that the world of the Jetsons, where when you look up everything is just buzzing overhead, is within their realistic grasp, and so is the fortunes that they might make, these companies might make about it. The problem is they have to do it in such a highly controlled manner so that all of this new low altitude air traffic can safely interact with the controlled airspace from the Federal Aviation Administration. And they started having meetings with the FAA. These were public meetings that resulted in NPRMs, notices of proposed rulemaking. And this started years ago, 5 years ago, and ended up with the UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, whole new set of regulations in the government, which coincidentally regulated the drone hobby and the model airplane hobby pretty much out of existence, so that the skies will be opened up for the Amazons and the FedExes and the UPS and everybody else, and even the medical community who are saying we need to have the drones so that we can ferry the blood samples to the labs right away, and we need those pesky modelers like Mitch that are out in the park flying around when nobody's around in the morning to enrich their lives. We need them out of our goddamn way, and we've got the money, and if you don't give us the legislation we want, we will not fund your campaigns anymore. And that's the reality of it, Brian. Not any bad apples flying drones. Period. But that's what they want you to think, because they're not going to admit the height and breadth of the conspiracy that they're perpetrating on the dumb model airplane flying community, who they need out of their way. And that's what they did to us. And once again, almost nobody recognizes that for what it is. They all fall for the better safe than sorry. We are sheep. We don't think. Critical thinking is a thing of the past. That's why I rail about it so much in all things. Politics, religion, and what we're concerned about, the proper nutrition and health. Money and their message always wins. And if I do nothing else with my life and my efforts here on YouTube, maybe I'll wake up and be able to show one or two people somewhere that they need to recognize the symptoms and the signs of political playbooks and propaganda driven by greed, money, corruption, and all the things that seem to be the main driving forces behind what masquerades in this world as, we just want to help you. We want to help you. So We need you to do these things and give up these freedoms because, better safe than sorry. And I try not to get angry at it, but when I see people keep falling for this stuff, it gets me ranting. Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Question, Mitch, will you be on KMT on Labor Day? If Labor Day is next Monday, yes. I will be the focus guy, whatever they call it, part of the show instead of just part of the audience. And I unbelievably, I booked this with Ali like 3-4 months ago. They were that far out. She asked me, "Do you want to be on Kilts wants to be on the KMT Zoom call? Can you do it?" I said, "Sure. Tell me when." She says, "Well, the first opening we have is way in September, and this was back in like June." Main Runner, is this a rant? Everything's a rant, Main Runner. Everything is a rant. Why else would you want to listen to me? Common sense, critical thinking, reality. That's where I live. I live in that, in all things, everything. I don't care how small and insignificant. If there's any BS attached, I will recognize it and one of two things, try to fix it or distance myself from it. I've been that way all my life. It's frustrated me. I would stand there watching things happen and say, doesn't anybody realize what's going on here? Politics especially. So despicable. The things people can do to other people to further their own agendas and their power. The quest for power is in itself so wrong. Who the hell, what kind of person is this that wants to have absolute control over other people? Does that indicate a personality flaw? Boy, did I experience that in the military. How many people join the military just so they can get rank and boss people around because it makes them feel superior? That's true. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons in our very programming that makes animals pack leaders. Doesn't just happen by accident. That's driven. Everything is the way it is for a very distinct reason and has a source. To understand these sources becomes very helpful for anybody trying to overcome an unconscious urge to do or behave a certain way that they're trying to fix, especially when it comes to addictions. Understanding the root causes, why you can't resist that Oreo cookie, is maybe the only thing you can actually do to combat that feeling and perform a hack on it, which is what I've tried to do with telling people how to get over their carb addiction by stuffing your face whenever you get a craving with meat. It works. And there's a reason why it works. And if you don't do that, you won't cure your addiction. You can stave it off for a few weeks or a few months, but you will not spend the rest of your life denying yourself something that your physiology hounds you to eat every day. Nobody can withstand that amount of torture for that long. You have to change your physiology so that it stops hounding you to eat sugar, and that is an unconscious thing, not something you can will. You can't just say, okay, I'm not going to eat sugar anymore. Doesn't work. We know that. Doesn't work with alcohol, drugs, nothing. That's reality. While everybody else is trying to sell you a magic cure, which doesn't work, get paid for advice that doesn't work. Old Mitch is here telling you, learn why you can't do it first. You may not want to hear it. It may go against what your religion teaches you. It may go against everything you think you know. But learn the reality of where we came from, why we behave the way we do, and why it has turned you into a fat diabetic sugar addict who can't control himself. And anybody that doesn't believe that we are in a society full of those who can't control themselves need only open your eyes and look around. I'm not telling you something that's difficult to prove. All you got to do is go anywhere out there and watch these people consume this crap and kill themselves. Do you think they want to kill themselves? No. They all want to be thin and healthy. So why aren't they? Well, that's what I tell you. Why you can't control it, what your body is trying to accomplish by continually feeding you these cravings to cram sugar in it. And if you even have any control at all left, the control it would take to go to a meat counter, load up on meat, get a dumpster put outside your house, because it might take a dumpster for most people, and throw everything in that dumpster that isn't meat. If you've got family members that say to you, well, what about me? You say to them, go live somewhere else. You can't be around me and continually stuffing your face with that crap. This is reality. If you're an addict, and most people are. Of course, there's always those people that aren't addicted who become holier than all the rest of us, superior human beings, who look down their noses at us and say, I don't know why you can't control yourself. I have no desire to eat sugar. To which I want to drag them out behind the 7-Eleven and pick them up by the dumpster and put a cap in the back of their head. I could do the same thing. I don't like alcohol. I could go up to every alcoholic and be holier than thou and say to them, I don't know, why the hell you can't just stop drinking or smoking or shooting heroin or snorting cocaine. I don't know why you can't do that. I have no desire to do that. And I would not blame anybody that didn't drag me out behind the 7-Eleven and put a cap in my head behind a dumpster. I hate that attitude, that superiority, arrogance, holier than thou. A-hole. We don't all suffer from the same addictions. Some of us are addicted to gambling. Can't stay away from a casino. Ruin our lives that way. That's not even substance abuse. The one thing that people need to be taught or need to be, smacked in the face and snap out of it about these things is they don't just happen for no reason. They're not random. There is a root cause for every behavior in every living thing for any circumstance. There is something rooted in our evolution that is still influencing our program and our actions. And it isn't until you accept that, understand it. And that's why I wrote a book, which I don't care if anybody reads. You probably won't get it anyway. I've been talking about it for years and nobody gets it. Very few people get it. Called Taming the Beast Within. In our arrogance, we don't think we're animals anymore. The Bible told us that we're not. God created us separately, and we believe that. And that means that you cannot accept the concept of anything I try to tell you to help you. Which is why I rail against organized religion so much, because basically, I tell people, look, if that's the way you are, there's nothing for you here. Go away. Because I'm talking about a reality that I know and believe, and I'm not going to change my reality to fit your beliefs, because I don't believe that. So that's a very hard thing for me, But if you want to know what I think and how I made it work for me and how I got rid of my addictions and got them under control, I can tell you the whys. Whether you accept that or not, that's up to you. I don't particularly care. Don't care. Don't care. Don't have anything invested in your success. I don't have... Honestly, I'm not on a mission here to talk you in or out of anything. And I get so aggravated being accused of having some kind of a motive. I don't care what you believe. If you're happy, I envy you. I'm trying to help, that's all. I'm trying to help. You know the old saying, no good deed goes unpunished? Wow. Look it up in the dictionary. This is what you'll see on the page. You'll see my portrait. I'm the poster child for that saying, no good deed goes unpunished. Lizzie says, I think humans act worse than wild animals. Who do you think we are? Where do you think we come from? What law do you think is the most preeminent in our genetic programming? It is the law of the jungle. And believe me, the survivors that go on to procreate and become the base of all future generations are not the offspring of the meek and kind. They're the offspring of the warriors who managed to not get killed. So we're the descendants of the best of the fighters, of the most selfish people whose quest for self-preservation was better than anything else. We are the descendants of the killers, not the killed. That's who we are. That's why humans revert to some of the most horrid behavior when their existence is threatened. Look around. Look at the tyrants. Look at the crime. Look at people fighting for their own survival and what they won't do to other humans, who they won't climb over, kill, steal from, rape. I understand why they do that. I understand the cause of that. To me, it's not surprising at all. What's surprising is in thinking we can actually fix it. Try to be civilized. It is not a natural thing. And I've always said for many, many years that the extinction of the human race started the day we woke up and became aware of our own existence and started to connive and figure out how to get one up on the other guy. And eventually that will prove. And we'll go back to a planet populated by non-conscious living things. They go back to the law of the jungle with the ability, no ability to manipulate anything. And natural selection will take over once again because that's been dead. Evolution will pick up where it left off because it has been short-stopped and interrupted, and we are not evolving anymore. Not the way we got here in the first place. And the world will go on, or it won't. In a cosmic speck we are in this universe, makes no difference. Anyway, my friends, I always wax poetic. Thanks for coming in today. Everybody hope you had a good time. I try not to get too heavy, but I'm a realist. I'm hoping somebody's left on this planet that is actually interested in reality and not fantasy. And nothing else. I'm not going to waver from that. Whether you come and watch, it's up to you. I sure hope you do. I enjoy it. And I'll be back here again tomorrow morning. And then another 6-day week. Wow, it's Friday already. Go have lunch with my son today. If I missed your questions, catch them tomorrow. I'll thank you in advance. I don't know if anybody bought me a coffee. Thank you. If not, try again tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be putting a video out today, seeing as I'm going to have lunch with my son. I cannot work this hard on YouTube for no money, as I've been working. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not going anywhere. I'll be here. What else? That's about it. I'll give you a little happy music here. My happy music button. There it is. All right, everybody, say goodbye to everybody else in the chat. We will get out of here at a reasonable time. Because the tendency that I have would be pretty soon I'll be doing 2-hour live streams every morning, and I'll forget the actual lose sight of the objective, which was to get done early so I can go out and take care of myself. Thank you, Sandy. Enjoy your lunch today. She says, CB Comic Mitch, this new time change works perfect for me. Gotta go at 8 o'clock. Yeah, that's great. Glad to hear that. Bye-bye, everybody, says Gina. Calvin. Rick says, see you later on today, Mitch. That's right. I forgot. I didn't forget, but I didn't mention it. Tonight, 7 p.m., private community live stream. See you all there, and the new members too. So thank you. Thanks for reminding me. I would not have forgot the stream, but forgot to announce it. Lori Weitzel, thanks for being here. Denise King says goodbye. Have a great lunch with your son. Sandy, bye all. Lizzie says thank you, and a lot of music and dancing emojis, and great to see it. So far so good. Thank you all for coming today. We'll settle into this. We'll come up with a format for it that works. In the meantime, what you see is what you get. So, my friends, song's ending. And you guys can take the rest of the day off till 7 p.m. tonight. Eat meat, and then come into the private community.